Welcome back to UNCC TV. I'm Nalima.
And I'm Elena. Tonight on the 6 o'clock news, we look at stories across the nation and important to our students. In local news, we look at UNCC's efforts to promote Earth Day. Earth Day, originally founded on April 22, 1970, is an annual event celebrated worldwide held to demonstrate support for environmental protection. UNC Charlotte's English department got in contact with the director of Botanical Gardens on campus to host an event in celebration of Earth Day this year. They wanted to not only promote Earth Day, but also allow students to practice the lessons being taught in class. The event included a scavenger hunt that goes through the gardens, a space by the waterfall where students could peacefully write, and poetry readings in the gazebo. According to English professor Jen Monroe, the goal was to allow students to develop a relationship between nature and language.
We wanted to host an event with the Botanical Gardens that would celebrate the relationship between nature and language. So we have multiple stations across the Glen and the main part of the gardens. And the idea is that you just sort of are inspired by the space and our interaction with the space.
And getting people to spend time in the gardens and realize what a great resource this is for the university in general. To just sit for a while and appreciate the surroundings, and hopefully to bring people out here more often and take advantage of what a great place it is.
The questions on the scavenger hunt included poems for students to discover different flowers spread throughout the botanical gardens. Students could be found spread throughout the gardens, using the nature as inspiration to write their pieces.
The idea is that science, literature always intersect. Nature produces poetry. Poetry, in some sense, reflects nature. So what we're doing is trying to articulate the intersection of both.
Most students gathered around the water to encourage their creativity.
Better than in the classroom, because you sit in the classroom, you feel fresh when you do all your work. But when you're coming out here, it's more like peaceful and relaxing. The water's really nice to listen to. You can hear the birds chirping. It's like a different type of environment to actually look at.
The botanical gardens are open every day during daylight hours. Students are also encouraged to check out the greenhouse, open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
That's a great way to raise awareness for Earth Day. On a more regional level, we highlight a pilot's views on present airline issues.
We are in a time where passengers no longer feel safe on board. Pilots are now taking extra precautions to make it right. With recent controversy surrounding Southwest Airlines and the death of a passenger, the flight crew is now taking extra cautious efforts of anything that may go wrong on board. The recent death of a dog shoved into an overhead compartment has pushed pilots to question their flight attendants and how they treat their passengers. Many issues with the airlines have questioned the trust of passengers. Pilots are now taking it upon themselves to work with the flight crew on board and solve any issues that involves the passenger itself.
Now on to Ben, who is going to cover more international news and sports.
Thanks, Elena. A peace agreement has been reached between North and South Korea. After 65 years, the two nations have seemingly come to terms with their tumultuous shared history. Leaders from the two nations met on the 58th parallel, with Kim Jong-un stepping foot in South Korean soil for the first time. This peace agreement replaces the 1953 armistice, which stipulated the end of the hostilities, but not the end of the conflict. Denuclearization in North Korea is a top priority in the peace talks, while some of the people question the sincerity of the situation. North Korea claims the peace talks do not stem from pressure from the Trump administration. President Trump and Kim Jong-un are still set to meet in the coming months. All of us that grew up with baseball know the saying, it's not just a game, it's a part of life. For Reese Hampton, it's in his blood.
Junior Reese Hampton plays shortstop for the Charlotte 49ers. Reese was exposed to baseball since he was born. His father played baseball for Wichita State, and he decided to follow in his father's footsteps.
As soon as I can remember, I was swinging a bat, so loved it from the very start and stuck with it.
Reese has made the most of his decision to play ball. Making first-team All-American and multiple All-State awards shows the special kind of player he is. Hampton was inspired by longtime Phillies outfielder Shane Victorino.
Played when I was a child, and it kind of reminds me of a switch-hitting outfielder, kind of a slow guy, or a fast guy, and then Brett Gardner as well, is kind of a smaller guy, grinder.
Hampton still holds the 49ers freshman hitting record with 17 straight games, and he doesn't plan on slowing down.
Plan on playing as long as I can until someone tells me I can't.
Thanks, Ben. Lastly, Canadian man receives the best birthday present. Vancouver's Ping Quang Shun decides to retire on his birthday to treat himself. He decides to buy a lottery ticket. Little did he know he had the winning 6 numbers of $2 million. He is amazed that all 3 events happen on the same day, and he plans to use his winnings to take a trip to China.
Thanks for tuning in to UNCC TV. See you guys tomorrow at 6.